What's up, YouTube? If you followed the channel any at all in the last little bit, you know that we've been running the Skinny Guy Camper on the Gladiator. And in this episode, after a little over 3 weeks of spending different nights in it, we're going to let you know what we think about it.
We don't need a destination, let's go where the river's taking us.
So when we started building the Gladiator, we started with the RSI Smart Cap on the back. And we had a pretty specific plan on how we wanted to design it and what we wanted out of it. It had a lot of storage, and storage was a big thing for us. And it also had a lot of slides to make being able to get to stuff a lot easier. A lot of that design and thought came from Deb.
Yeah, I wanted to be able to reach everything, be able to close everything up and pack away everything by myself in case something ever happened to Bill while we were out.
You know, that's a real possibility. There's all kinds of things that can happen while we're out overlanding, and either party that's in your group needs to be able to put everything up in the event of that emergency.
Right.
While we were at More Expo 2022, Justin from Skinny Guy Campers came by and talked to me, and we were discussing the Skinny Guy Camper and the possibilities, and he wanted to see if we wanted to put one on maybe Kelly's vehicle and get Kelly off of the ground. At that time he was ground tenting, and we thought that was a great idea. It would be a good idea for the channel, and it would also be a good opportunity for them to get some real world feedback on their product. Kelly spent almost a year in that Skinny Guy. When we got to Expo East in 2022, the real buzz at that point was the new Gladiator Skinny Guy that was coming out. And they talked to us again, not only Justin, but Justin and Michelle, Donovan and Jason all were wanting us to put one of these on the Gladiator and give it a shot, test it out for them, give them some R&D, some feedback, and do a review on it. And we agreed to do that, and that's where we're at now. We actually got to put it on in February of this year. We did a couple trips down to Florida with it. We've done the Georgia Traverse in it, and we've spent a little bit over 3 weeks in it now.
Yeah.
So I feel like that we've got enough time in it to kind of give you an idea of what our thoughts are and what we really liked about it, and some of the things that, you know, just doesn't fit us. So let's start off with what we really like about the Skinny Guy Camper. I'll start with you, see what you think.
I like having the big windows. They're very open. The tall ceilings, you don't feel like you're claustrophobic.
Not at all. The big windows are a major plus to me. One of the things that was really cool in Florida was being able to wake up and these windows go all the way almost to bed level. So being able to wake up and literally just roll your head over on your pillow and be able to look outside was really cool. That was something that we've not gotten. You would at least have to raise up a little bit in most tents to be able to see outside.
Right.
Not in this one. And I'm 6 foot tall, and I can stand up in here and have plenty of room over my head and change clothes. And just like you said, even though it's a little bit narrower than some of the other Skinny Guys, it still doesn't feel claustrophobic.
No.
So what about the flushing toilet?
I love the flushing toilet because you don't have to get up in the middle of the night and go.
Yeah, and when it's
down
cold,
a ladder, or even if you're ground tenting, just go outside. You can just get up and go.
Yeah, and you know the thing about that is if it is cold outside, you don't have to get out in the cold to go use the bathroom, day or night, you know, for that matter, which brings us to the heat.
Yeah, it's got a great heater.
Yeah, the Truma Combi is absolutely incredible. That's one of the coolest things about this to me for cold weather camping is I can reach in here, turn that thermostat on, turn it up to whatever we want, 72 degrees, and it works. You don't have to adjust it. Normally you're getting
up to adjust it down.
Yeah, if you set it up to 72 degrees, you're going to get warm enough in here, you're going to want to turn it down to a little bit. But it just works. You set it, you don't have to worry about it. It's done. When you also, you know, you can turn the Truma water heater on. You've got the hot water. Having the 13 gallons of hot water that's easily, you know, out of the bullfinch connector, that really is nice too. I would like to see maybe a little bit of a regulator on that to where you could turn it down some.
Yeah.
Because with that pressurized water and the pump that they have in here, while it has outstanding pressure, it will go through the water in a hurry if you're not watching it. So, the bed.
The bed is very comfortable. We anticipated needing to use an air mattress or something because most rooftop tents or any tent that you get, the beds are just not comfortable. But this one, it's very comfortable.
Yeah, I have to give kudos to Michelle. She absolutely insisted that it had a comfortable mattress in it. We went through a couple of the prototype and gave her feedback on that, and then they went back and went through several different types of foam.
Right.
And I think they really nailed it on this one as far as the comfort of the bed goes.
Yes.
So what about the size of the bed?
The size of the bed, actually, I was surprised. I thought it was going to be too small for us, but I mean, actually, it works fine. It feels bigger than what it really is. And
Yeah, I mean, it's not a queen bed by any means, or a king bed, but you and I slept in here fine. We didn't kill each other. We didn't even fight much.
Right, and I'm an all-over sleeper. I mean, I sleep all over the bed.
And Aspen had plenty of room.
He had
plenty of room at the foot, and he actually spent most of his time right down here on the bench, which really worked well for him and gave us a little bit more room too.
Right. Unless the window was open, then he was in the window.
Yeah, then he was in the window wanting to see what was outside. One of the other things that's really neat about being able to stay in here in inclement weather is having the stove and sink combination. There was a morning or two when it was cold and rainy outside, and rather than having to go outside and stay out in the cold and the damp to fix a cup of coffee, we're able to just put the percolator on in here and be able to have coffee before we ever went out.
Right, and we've been in the rain and ate breakfast in here and kind of waited for it to
clear up a little bit.
Yeah, and then head out.
Yeah, so those are all things that are really super nice. This table here, we haven't used it a whole lot, to be quite honest with you, but it is super convenient for like editing or something like that late at night. You've got a table and kind of a desk to be able to use to do that kind of stuff, or just to sit and have your coffee or something to snack with.
One of the things we really like is these steps. They're not as narrow as the typical steps are from rooftop tents, so you got a really wide base to put your foot on.
Now, one of the really neat things about Skinny Guy is when they asked us to do this R&D, they really take our suggestions to heart. Some of the things that we had suggested, like with the mattress, we came back with some recommendations on the mattress, and
they changed it right away.
They changed it immediately, and that was awesome. The other thing that we looked at initially was, if you see some of the older model Skinny Guys, they don't have a screen that zips in right here, so you don't have like a screen door. When we went up and looked at it in December and just did the initial walkthrough, the prototype, that was one of the things that Deb had mentioned and we talked about, was having the ability to have that screen door where you could keep this open, especially when it's hot outside. And even before they got the production unit number 1 to us, we had a screen door, which was really cool. Some of the other things that we've looked at and offered suggestions to, and they've took to heart, was the awnings for the windows, right? Yeah. So we had made recommendation to put some type of overhang or short awning out to where you could keep the windows down while it was raining. And they did go ahead with this tent. They have put zippers on them. The 5.5s have the zippers on them now. And the actual overhangs or the awnings are in production. So they're really taking things to heart. They're trying to improve an already incredible piece of equipment and piece of camping gear, and they're trying to work to improve it every day, and I can't commend them anymore for what they're doing there. So now we've talked about the good. Let's talk about the bad.
I think the bad for me would just be storage. I'm really struggling with storage because, as everybody has seen if you've watched our channel, I carry a lot of stuff. And it's not just some stuff I just have to have. You know, it's what I need, I guess I should say. It's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, there's you can carry what you need
Right.
in a backpack, but you know, there's another channel out there, and I will steal his quote. We don't go out there to survive. We go out there to thrive.
Right.
And to thrive, we're going to take some things that we want to take.
Right.
Sometimes we take a little more than most.
Right. And I noticed that, you know, with our other setup, we didn't have as much in our back seat. And that was our main goal to our setup. Just simply because when stuff is in our back seat, you don't put anything away. It just starts getting crammed in there.
I am an absolute typical man. If I cannot just get something out, use it, put it straight back where it belongs, then it gets stuffed wherever it'll fit.
Yeah.
And you know, that is definitely a fault of mine.
Yeah.
And that was one of the biggest things with the JK was
Yes.
it all just got stuffed back wherever I could put it.
Right.
Well, when we built this one with all the drawers and all the slides, that was my promise to her, was it will be situated in a manner that I can put everything back exactly where it belongs, and the back seat will not be so full of stuff and so cluttered that it looks like a mess all the time. Right. So that's what we did. And you're right, that is our biggest complaint, our biggest issue with this, and it's just us. It may not be that for everybody. Not everybody carries as much stuff, and not everybody spends as much time out at one time as we do. You know, we carry a lot of stuff a lot of times because we'll be gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, for somebody that is out for a weekend or 4 or 5 days or a week, a couple, you know, you're going to have enough room.
Right.
You know, or if somebody's single who's going out by themselves, then, you know, we know of people who have been out for 5 or 6 weeks in one and had plenty of room.
Right.
The only other real thing that we don't like about the Skinny Guy or staying in the Skinny Guy or how it's configured is the refrigerator.
Right. Yeah, the refrigerator stays up top, so not only is it's just hard climbing up and down when you're cooking outside, because I cook for multiple people. So once again, if you're just a couple and you're not cooking for multiple people, it wouldn't be as hard. But traveling up and down the steps, once again, trying to keep the refrigerator out of the back seat, which we have tried, and in the Gladiator with the seats folded down, it is a tight fit for a medium-sized refrigerator, and then you can't get the lid up.
And if the seats are up in the passenger position, then a small refrigerator won't even fit. So there's not a lot of room there. Now, some of the other models, the full-size trucks like the F-250 that was with us on the Mark Twain, they actually had a 60-liter dual-zone refrigerator sitting in their back seat. There's no way we would fit that here in the Gladiator. So, you know, maybe it's Gladiator specific or 5.0 specific, but being able to put that refrigerator down in the truck is just not really feasible, and having that refrigerator up here is definitely a little bit cumbersome, because even at lunch, you know, having to stop,
open the camper up.
You have to open the camper completely up to get anything out of your refrigerator. So that's a little tough.
Yeah, but with the Gladiator model, when we approached Skinny Guy with that was one of our concerns. They came up with a pretty good idea, which was the drawer slide refrigerator, which would work perfect for, you know, your lunch meat, your drinks, and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's a perfect option. The one they showed us was the Dometic. It was a 30-liter drawer refrigerator. So being able to put cold drinks, lunch meat, things like that in the bed of the truck underneath the Skinny Guy, then that would definitely work. Or maybe even if you had a storage system or like a rear seat delete system in the back of your vehicle, you could put that on or under maybe a seat delete.
Yeah.
That might work too. So, you know, those are all things that you can get past. The storage is to each their own. We carry a little more stuff than most people, or a lot of people. Not because we have to, but because that's what we prefer to do.
Right.
So that's the big one there. And as far as refrigeration goes, You can pack a cooler in the back of your rig. You can do one of the drawer refrigerators. So there are options to get around that. That's the only real two complaints that we've had on this whole thing, and like I said, that's going to be independent from each other. For everybody is going to be different. One of the things that I really like from a standpoint of it being on the truck is how compact it packs down. So it's incredible to have all of this and then be able to close it up and it have the same size as a standard camper shell on the back of your truck. You literally, once you close it up, anywhere that you could take this Gladiator, you could take this Skinny Guy. It's not too top heavy, it's not over sway. You can feel it. I'm not going to tell you that you can't feel it, but it's not overwhelming.
Right.
So that's the good thing about as far as driving it goes and being able to shut it all up and it be a small compact design. Overall, my opinion is I really like it too. There are a lot of things that really fit for us, but at the end of the day, the deal breaker is the storage for us.
Right.
So, you know, we told them that we'd keep it on for a while and do some testing and R&D, and I'm so glad we did it. You know, it's been a fun few weeks of camping out of this thing and exploring the options, and you know, now we know what we had before we really liked.
Right.
You know, so, and it's not that we don't like this, it's just that it doesn't exactly fit what we do.
Right. Right.
So if you're out there and you're on the fence about whether or not a Skinny Guy would work for you, I can't tell you that it's the greatest thing in the world for you or for me or for anybody else, but it may be absolute perfect for what you need. It's not exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to go back to the RSI Smart Cap, and in doing so, not only will you see us in the rooftop tent some, but this has kind of opened our eyes to other options as well. And you know, we're going to explore some other things, maybe some different tents, maybe even something we'll be pulling behind the truck for a little while. So we're just going to explore all the different things when it comes to being able to stay and camp and overland, and that way when somebody asks us, well, what do you think about the Skinny Guy, or well, what do you think about this, or well, what do you think about that, then we'll be kind of educated on what it is, and maybe we can offer a valuable opinion other than just what we think. Now I want everybody to know that the quality of the Skinny Guy camper is really awesome. I couldn't ask for anything better as far as the build quality and the craftsmanship of what they're putting together here. But you know, I just don't want you to think that we don't like it. We do like it. We like it a lot. If it wasn't for the storage, this is something that we could absolutely see ourselves staying with.
Right.
But it's just, for us, it's just the storage.
Yeah, and as we do longer trips, getting into this week, doing almost 5 weeks when we leave to go out west, that's our issue, would be storage.
Yep. So if you're interested, give them a shout. Tell them you've seen us here. There's all kinds of dealers that they're setting up all over the United States, and you can go put your hands on one of these. They're going to be at all the expos this year. And give Skinny Guy Campers a look. They're truly innovative, awesome products, and I think that most people would be very happy spending some nights in one of these.
Yeah, I think so too. Their customer service is amazing there. They really listen to their customers and the feedback that their customers have.
Yeah, and they'll do everything that they can to help you to get through your problem or get through whatever issue or concern you may have.
Right.
So can't say enough good things about them. Check them out. We are still wonderful friends with them, and you'll be seeing us with Justin and Michelle on many other adventures.
And we'll probably be putting it back on again.
So we will be putting it back on. We're actually going to be putting it back on for the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. So if you guys want to come and check it out there, it will be on our truck in the Dan Cummins off-road booth inside at the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. Hopefully we can see you there.
Right.
Appreciate you taking the time and listening to us. Hope that it wasn't too boring, but that's what our opinion is, and I hope that you guys got something out of it. Thanks.